Welcome back, disc golf fans, to the 2024 Round 2 Open at Austin presented by Flight Factory Discs out here at the Harvey Pinnock Golf Course. Beautiful Austin, Texas, enjoying this nice windy weather. I'm Nathan Queen, again joined by Andrew Fish.
And delighted to be here. We see potential for rain all 3 days of this tournament. Saturday's, I believe, going to be the nicest of the 3 days. And we are going to follow Calvin Heimburg, Matt Orum, Jake Hebenheimer, and Niklas Anttila.
Yeah, should be a fun round today. We saw glimpses of Calvin and Matt during round 1. Excited to see full coverage of them here for round 2. As you see, a couple players got to that 10 under mark for round 1. That's who we'll be chasing down.
Hole 1, 400 feet, a par 3. The suggestion of a water carry, it's not super in play, even though there is loose ground and big snakes. Basket is elevated, but a relatively flat green.
First up on the tee box, sponsored by Innova, Calvin Heimburg.
Good shape from Calvin. He is going to run out to early circle 2 on the left side.
Next up on the tee box, sponsored by Westside Disc and Saban. You know him as Matty O. Matthew Orum.
Nathan, did I lose you?
No, I'm here. We are already looking at less wind here today. As you can see from Calvin's shot, a bit more direct to the basket. And here we are, Matty O hanging it out well wide. Maybe not quite as much of a skip as he wanted, but does get into circle 1.
No, he did get the downslope, but I was surprised to see how dead that shot reacted.
Sponsored by Lone Star Disc and OTB, Jake Hebenheimer.
Jake, an absolute smasher of the disc.
Yeah, love to watch him throw. His backhand is so powerful, but so controlled.
Yeah, and looks like maybe just a bit too much power on that one, as he is going to sneak back in bounds, though. Going to have that long circle 2 look.
Rounding out your chase card, sponsored by Discmania. Put your hands together for Niklas Anttila.
And Niklas, as always, setting that angle in his backswing. Low and driven. A couple of skips well into the circle to the bullseye.
Oh, yes. I liked that line the best out of the hand as long as it missed those fences there. And skips right up to it. Hebenheimer looking for the circle 2 to start. Going to end up with the par. Calvin as well, circle 2.
Matty O plays the Anheuser to drop with the wind. Such good technique.
Moves us into hole 2, 715-foot par 4, dog leg to the right. You want to push to these tree planters here, then you'll have a pretty straight shot, maybe 360 feet or so into this green. You do have a ball golf green to carry, as well as OB long left and right of the basket.
Round 1, we saw Matty O push his shot too long out of bounds. This time nearly makes the opposite mistake. However, he will stay inbounds, a little bit pinched.
Yeah, about as close as you can get to the right side there. This looks like a great shot here from Niklas, and he's going to land in the ideal position, likely another forehand in from there.
We noted it in round one. Calvin avoiding forehands whenever possible due to an injury. He's going to push his backhand mid a little bit long.
Jake going with a overstable forehand here. He gets plenty of power on it and a nice skip into the similar spot as Niklas.
And you can go overstable or a little bit of hyzer as long as you give it the initial width. Heimburg to the eagle. And a good check. That should be able to save his par from about 12 or 15 feet.
Yeah, beautiful shot there to try to recover after pushing the tee shot long. Maybe same disc here from Jake, but gets a little too much on it. You heard him asking it to hurry. He knew he had pushed it long. Gonna have a long putt to save par.
Niklas plays the baby flex shot pretty successfully. And Matty can't really see the basket. We'll have to go blind turnover.
Oh, and it looks like he's done it well. Oh, but catches one of the guardian trees on the way in. Gonna leave him a pretty long look here.
Can't be too mad about it. He threw the shot that he needed to.
Just outside of circle one. Jake's now missed both circle two looks and gonna card the bogey on this one, but Niklas starting birdie on his round.
Wouldn't know it to look at him.
Yeah, does well at keeping his emotions in check the majority of the time. Doesn't really need to show too much. Just wants to keep on playing his game.
Hole 3, 360 feet uphill. You need to carry this golf green, not really in play. The left side sidewalk is out of bounds, and then right side tree line is unpleasant. This drifting backhand from Niklas looks really nice to mid C1.
Yeah, with the uphill slope late in the flight, difficult to get the nose angle right for that. And Niklas does so well. Matteo trying to draw his over, is going to catch a little bit of fade. Catches the hill nicely, though, going to be inside circle one.
Calvin doesn't give the initial width. He kind of started it at the basket instead of left as Niklas and Matteo had done as a result in the tree line.
And your favorite play on this hole is going to be that backhand roller. This one is starting to turn right, but man, it's going to catch the upslope there on hole 4. Not going to make it over.
I wonder if you can see that off the tee at any point. I don't know that I would go looking in the middle of hole 4 for a drive that felt pretty good.
Yeah, it looked pretty good out of his hand as well. Just lost that pace. That's Calvin with the big hit from 38 feet or so. Gets on the board with a birdie.
Matteo with the good stick as well. And Niklas, the closest of the bunch. Gonna turkey.
Yeah, best way to start the round. Get you some food.
Beth at 69.
I just told myself, you just got to will this one in there. Whatever you have, just will it in there.
This man is unbelievable. This is what athletes live for. This is the moment.
Got a good thing coming, and it's all I need. Everything I wanted is in front of me.
Brings us to hole 4. Quite downhill, 460 foot par 3. Putter available, I believe, today with the lower wind. Much different hole than we saw during round 1.
Even though putter is available, I still like the idea of going with a little bit faster disc and just playing the hyzer. Niklas with a backboard puts him in circle 1.
Yeah, looking to start the round 4 for 4.
Come on, Pine.
And Matty looks to be going mid-range here. Executed well, also going to be inside circle 1.
And this is moving left pretty quickly. There is an out-of-bounds line over there.
Yeah, gets the big stick over there on the left side. No skip at all for Calvin. Going to be inside circle 2.
Jake gets the wind read from Calvin. Looks a little wider. Pretty good adjustment, but just digs on the hillside in circle 2. He's kind of been living out there so far.
Yeah, only seen circle 2 putts from Jake at this point. Calvin not quite able to connect on that long bid. Let's see if Jake can get his first one here. Oh, and knew it halfway through the flight. Needed that one to get his round going. Great putt there from Jake.
And really good pacing and balance on this downhill run.
Not to be outdone, Matty-O gonna connect from circle 2 as well. Keep his already hot start going. And Niklas, 4 for 4.
We'll go to hole 5, 520 feet, a par 4 eagle opportunity. Can lay a forehand or backhand out to the right side or try to attack with a big backhand shot. Direction of the wind isn't great for that today. However, 520, you need to carry probably 500, so it is in the wheelhouse for say, Calvin and Jake.
And a couple in-play spots there. So we see Jake gonna go big here, trying to go for the eagle. Looks like a good line. He's asking for it to get left. As we've seen the rest of the day inside circle 2.
This time he's got a bonus stroke to play with. He has the easiest 3 in the world if he desires it. Calvin also following that.
So 240, 250 or so from over in this area. And Niklas gonna leave that a little farther than he'd like, but been putting well and always does putt well, so chance to go 5 for 5.
It seems like that's the common mistake. I would like to hit just in front of the basket so I'm on the upslope, but I also wouldn't want to fluff it and end up short in the out of bounds. Calvin will take the eagle putt off the band.
Man, very committed. Nice bid there. Tough to do with the downhill behind it. Jake for back-to-back C2's gonna just tickle a chain on the way by. And just a reference of the difference in wind. Day 1, there was just 1 eagle on this hole. And day 2, there were 11. So big wind difference there.
Absolutely. A shame we don't get to see any of those, but we'll have one more round to give it another try. Everybody going to convert?
Yeah, Niklas collects on his. We got another diamond. Brings us to hole 6, 535 foot par 4. Got a mandatory keeping you to the left, and then OB lining the entire right side of the fairway. Very thick on the left side, unless you make it all the way out. Just a pretty tight gap to hit. And then land in the center still, where you're in a good spot for your second. I think that's technically a little left of center, but we'll see what he has lined up for his second shot.
Yeah, he will have a second shot, and that is pretty critical here. Jake to play the forehand option, but not wide enough. He's going to tag out and go to the left.
Yeah, and it can get pretty tricky over there left side, whether you even have a stance or an arm swing. This looks great from Calvin. So close to that OB line late, but that's what is needed to be in a good spot on this one. And Jake having to go forehand roller, slowly rolling into a worse spot over there on the left.
Yeah, out of the frying pan, but not a whole lot better from there. Matty with the half swing, just playing a setup shot.
Yeah, very smart play with that OB on the right side. You never know what tiny little kick when you're in the woods can kick you into that OB. So not getting too aggressive, just trying to get his par.
That's pretty good. Let's clap for that.
Jake likes it. It was pretty good.
And look at this force over to flex back. Such good
Wow.
angle control, Nathan.
Yeah, I guess he wasn't slightly left side. He was perfect position. Niklas Anttila, 6-pack.
Calvin snookered up against a tree. And we'll have to throw another from pretty far back on the fairway.
Yeah, it looks like he has a nice hyzer set up now. And able to get up there inside circle one, looking at the par.
Yeah, might be a funny little backyard putt.
That's exactly what you want to see after you've played a smart play to get to the middle of the fairway. Executes his next shot and is going to get his par. Jake looking at the double now, I believe, unless he connects on this long look.
Yeah, all natural 6. Not what you want, but he would not be the only one of the day, I'm sure. Here is Calvin for his par. And is able to sneak it in over the rim.
Yeah, great save. And he was not the only one on the day.
Hole 7, 305 feet. Shortest hole we've looked at so far, but still pretty treacherous. Forehand and backhand both play. There is out of bounds to the right, and then thick woods to the left.
I really like this hyzer stand-up line for the backhand as Niklas Anttila gonna keep his perfect round going. This is such a beautiful shot.
Yeah, homeboy's on one right now.
Yeah, as easy as he made that look, that's not the easiest line to throw on this hole. As you see a different... Well, Matteo had intended to go left of that first tree for a different backhand line, but gonna sneak on down there anyway. Looking for a birdie as well.
I feel like the crowd reactions were inverted of how they should have been for Niklas's shot and Matteo's.
I think sometimes the crowd likes luck more because it looks cooler when something like that happens. And I think this is going to be the best shape for the hole. And Jake has executed it perfectly as well. We have all 4 players inside 25 feet, maybe inside 20.
Yeah, that's the way to do it for Jake. Don't have to deal with a long putt this time.
Yeah, maybe 20 feet right there for Matteo. Gonna connect. We've got them diamonds. Moves us into hole 8. 570-foot par 4. Really technical shot. You want to land right here in the center. of this fairway so you can try to navigate this slowly narrowing second fairway here. Pretty difficult hole for 570. I like it. There is OB left side as well.
Yeah, it's hard to put yourself in a good spot to attack. Left side, I think, is the best way to do that. However, it limits how far you can go.
Yeah, I do like that forehand play to try to land in the middle. As you see Matteo kind of trickling off to the left. May have a hyzer look from there, but going to be hard to push far enough with how skinny it gets.
Calvin tried to go through everything. It's rare that that works.
And pulls that one just a little bit. Pretty far back now. Going to be par play from here. Still want to get as far down that hallway as you can.
Yeah, I agree. You're kind of presented with two options when you're that far back. You can try to be a little bit cute and land in the middle, or you can throw a power shot and just try to go far once you've hit your initial angle. And I feel like as difficult as the last 100 feet or so of this fairway is, throwing the distance rather than the spot is the way to go.
I agree with that, as Niklas maybe throws that a little nose down, but gets a good bounce. He's going to have an opportunity here to start 8 for 8 with that close to circle's edge look there.
Not quite a pure flight from Matteo, but he will be around circle 2 with a birdie option or birdie attempt.
What a cool view this is, looking back down the fairway. Nice size gallery here on Chase Card for day 2.
Ooh, he wanted it. I agree, Nathan. This is the second of 4 Texas stops, including U.S. Women's, also near Austin. And always a vibrant crowd that shows up.
Calvin maybe getting a little cheeky there, trying to make that birdie look. Trying to sneak through those trees. May have left himself a little longer look than desired for par. And he is human, folks. Niklas not going to get a birdie here on hole 8.
At the imperfect round now, alas. Hole 9, 745 feet, a par 4. Initial carry of out of bounds all the way up to this landing zone, short of the ball golf green. And then we're going to get onto a pretty narrow peninsula up towards the basket. Likely to see 4 strong backhands and then a choice of backhand or forehand if players have thrown a good tee shot.
Yeah, with less wind today, we might see some more aggressive tee shots, but this looks pretty standard here from Niklas. Going to be inbounds close to 360, 400-ish. Calvin going something stable there, all just kind of playing to that same spot.
I want to see a little bit more aggression so that the second shot can be in the low 3s instead of the mid to high 3s.
Yeah,
but it's
that's
trying is the enemy on the tee shot here. Like, you don't want to play yourself out of position by going onto the green or something.
Yeah, I like, even though it didn't look too much longer, I like the play there from Jake. He does get a little more on that and may make it comfortable enough he can go with that forehand in. With the wind down today, I don't believe the backhand is as scary as round 1.
Well thrown by Matteo. Manages the wind and the stability to get back to flat.
Oh, and he's turned this one over. Gonna need some luck. Does not get it. As Jake looks like he may be looking up at that Simon line we saw from round 1. Forget a forehand. I'm going to go up. And as you were saying during round 1, kind of a Plinko play up there. He's going to end up hitting something and bouncing backwards into the OB. Will advance onto that peninsula. But again, I believe he'll be circle 2, looking to save the par.
Jake is a better thrower than me, but I feel like from where he was, it's too easy to look straight at the basket and throw the shot at the basket in these conditions. But is going to clean up a par. That's, at least he's damage control that way.
Yeah, definitely going to want that birdie after the most aggressive and best tee shot of the group. But nice for him to clean up that par as Matteo hits nice birdie look there as Niklas Anttila clean 7 down. Matteo not quite as forward, a little sneaky there with his clean 6 down front 9.
Yeah, don't overlook it. We're halfway through this tournament. We've got a lot more action to cover on Gatekeeper Media's channel. We hope you'll join us for the back 9 and more. For Nathan Queen, I'm Andrew Fish.
We'll see you guys out there.